now it's time for sports stories from across the world. Aaron Akira-Jola, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, Doctor. Okay, so let's get us started today. Arsenal starting off on a very sound note for 2025 with a resounding win at the G-Tech Arena yesterday in the UK, a London derby of some sort. Arsenal hasn't lost a London derby this season. It was 3-1 was how he actually ended. Mbeumo actually opened the scoring in the 13th minute for Brentford before Arsenal rolled back with goals from Gabriel Jesus, who is in rich vein of form as we speak, Merino, and one man, Gabriel Martinelli, actually wrapping up things for the Gunners and ensuring that Arsenal move on to second on the table. So you look at that, and they'll be hoping to build on that, and they can actually even close the gap from 6 points right now to 3 if they actually play on the weekend. But Liverpool, who are table toppers, still have 2 more games to actually move on. So let's move it away from football right now to basketball. And one man, the myth, the legend himself, LeBron James, of course, they call him the king, of course, playing his 22nd season in the NBA, made his debut back in 2003. And he's been in the NBA and over the years from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Miami Heat, not forgetting his current club, talking about LA Lakers. You can actually see his numbers over the years. 1,807 minutes played. But what is very outstanding is 49,293. That particular number is a record by itself. And when you look at the number of three-pointers, the rebounds, the steals, the assists, the blocks, the triple-doubles over the years, the wins he's been able to garner in the NBA is simply outstanding. But if we're to move on to the next slide, people still ask the question, who is the greatest of all time in the NBA? Is it LeBron James right now, who is over 40? Or is it the great himself, talking about Michael Jordan? The debate is still out there. Some say the debate is settled with LeBron James achieving this feat, but some are saying that one man is untouchable. The number of rings he wears alone, 6 of them, talking about talking about Michael Jordan, is unmatched. So let's move away from that to some sad news as we try to bring it home today. Our own Stanley, Chief Stanley Nwabali, Bobo, as they like to call him, actually tweeted yesterday that he lost his mother and the year is off to a very bad start. Remember, barely 2 months ago, his father actually passed away while he was representing the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and it's unfortunate that barely 2 months after, he's having to lose his mother again, and prayers and also condolences have been pouring in for the man, and it's rather sad that things have actually played out like this for him, losing both parents in a very short period of time. But away from that, one man is actually excited returning back home, former Super Eagles international and former West Bromwich star, talking about Brown Ideye. He's become the 3rd Super Eagles player to return back home to play for a local club in the Nigeria Premier Football League. At this time around, it's Enyimba International of Aba that is the choice of club he's decided to go to. And Brown Ideye, great man, I must say, and back in the day when he represented the Super Eagles, he helped the Super Eagles get to the finals and also win the Nations Cup. The last time Nigeria actually won the Nations Cup back in 2013 when the man himself there, the late Stephen Keshi, was the boss, gaffer of the team, and his telepathic understanding with the striker, with his strike partner there, just was quite phenomenal in that particular one. And Nigeria has not had it good like this ever since then. So let's see, he's encouraged more superstars to come back home to see how we can bolster the league and actually make the Nigeria Premier Football League a great outfit and one to look out for. And finally, Anthony Joshua, he's been touching different places. Of course, he's actually handed a glove, to the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He actually signed a glove and gave it to him there. And he's not only been to see Tinubu, of course, he's also actually had the opportunity to speak and also talk with the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and also the governor of Ogun State, his state, Dapo Abiodun, where they are speaking about building a gymnasium in his honor. And Anthony Joshua is a man that is heavily loved by Nigerians. And right now he's been enjoying himself because we've seen videos of him at the Polo Club eating suya and enjoying himself and saying, and he's been at the Shrine, he's been at several places, I must say.
Yep, and he also says he wants to take on Tyson Fury in 2025. You know,
it's possible, but there are a lot of bad bloods between not just the fighters themselves, but the promoters. They will need to be able to sit down, agree on the purse, and who gets what. But they can't feel a stadium. They can't feel Wembley. Equal. They do not need Saudi Arabia to do this. They can do it themselves because these guys are box office personalities.
Exactly. I think at this stage of his career, that's what it's about, right? You know, with the athletes, age will catch up to you at one point or another, whether you like it or not. So it's good to try and cash into those later years as much as possible and just try to solidify your persona and your brand, because that's what lives on beyond your time in the ring or on the pitch or whatever it is. It's great to see him associate with Nigeria, and great to see, hopefully, you know, more involvement from him. We know what he went through initially when he wanted to box for Nigeria and ended up boxing for Britain and so forth. So we hope experiences of people like this can try and correct some of these, shall I say, the scandals that happen within the sporting fraternity.
It's more institutional than if a human being.
Advocacy is always a good thing. Advocacy is always a good thing. But speaking about, you know, an athlete's life living beyond their time on the court, the insult of comparing Michael Jordan or saying that LeBron James could be greater than Michael Jordan, I say blasphemy on this table this morning.
I agree with you. But those that did not watch Michael Jordan play would think that LeBron James was the next best thing after sliced bread.
Ooh, they missed out. If you missed out on Michael Jordan playing, you missed out on a great part of history.
Okay, I think what is important is that whether you are talking about Michael Jordan or LeBron James, you go beyond the statistics and talk of them in terms of being exemplars, in terms of individual achievement in what they do, excelling in what they do. And both men would, you know, for generations to come, remain, you know, motivational figures for others who will come after them. That is what is important. Whether in sports or academics or in politics, you know, when you distinguish yourself, then of course that's the basic thing. The details about the statistics of how many rebounds, how many assists and all that, that's in terms of detail. But that they are both distinguished and that they will be relevant for all times in terms of their fame and achievement and distinction. Nobody can controvert that. Our condolences go to Stanley Nwabali to have lost two parents within the space of 2 months. That indeed, you know, is quite a lot for a person to bear. But we just pray that the Lord will strengthen him and, you know, other members of his family. You know, losing two parents within 1 month, that's a lot. Even if you are the boldest, the strongest, you know, of all persons. Now, New Orleans attack, we discussed that earlier on with Adefemi Akinsoya. Now, the college football Super Bowl that was supposed to take place between Notre Dame University and the University of Georgia, you know, has now been postponed on account of that. So the Georgia Bulldogs and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the last of the four, quarterfinal series in college football, you know, has had to be postponed on account of that. Now, as for Arsenal, well, Mikel Arteta may be, vindicated in the sense that he had to, you know, change the team balance, the team arrangement. Kai Havertz was not there because of illness. Bukayo Saka is out of action for about 2 months now, or for the next 2 months because of hamstring injury. Now, what they did was to start a young man called Ethan Nwabali, as the right winger, and he proved to be very effective. He did not score, but he was a major discovery. His first Premier League start, and then first Premier League match in January 2025. But we seem to have run out of time. But I think Nwabali is a man to watch. But Martinelli was saying, well, he cannot replace Bukayo Saka because Bukayo Saka is world class. But Arsenal is still looking for a right winger who can fill that space, even if it is temporarily before Bukayo Saka comes back. Yeah, they are looking at Samuel Chukwueze. Chukwueze, by the way, at AC Milan is also injured. Yeah. But we'll see what happens during the January transfer window. Yes. Maybe tomorrow you'll tell us more about that, because the possibilities are vast and they're before us. Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you very much indeed.